Get me that signal. We need more power.
Welcome to the Voice of E. I am your host, Elliot Miller, and in this edition I'm looking at Zenescope Entertainment's entries for September 2013. Zenescope Entertainment has announced plans to publish a new Grimm Fairy Tales comic book miniseries entitled Quest. Zenescope's Pat Shand will be handling the writing of the action-packed fantasy series. With this new series, Shand gets to bring back some familiar faces and break new ground as the evolution of the Grimm universe continues. Quest is scheduled for a November release and is available for pre-order this month in Diamond Previews. Quest follows a rogue princess named Aisling, who teams up with well-known Grimm Fairy Tales characters Blake, the fallen Wonderland knight, and Boulder, a dwarf warrior banished from his home. The trio finds itself searching for redemption as they are tasked with protecting the realm of mist from the dark shadows of its past. Pat's a very good writer who is really coming into his own now. He's a great choice for this series because he is able to blend fantasy and dark humor together into his scripts so seamlessly now, says Zenescope's editor-in-chief and co-creator of Grimm Fairy Tales, Ralph Tedesco. Pat describes the story as a middle ground between the Lord of the Rings and Skull Kickers, and I think that's accurate. It's fantastical, epic, and fun. Pretty much what our fans expect from our Grimm Universe titles. The first issue of Quest is available for pre-order in Diamond September edition of Previews. For more information on this or any other Zenescope title, visit www.zenescope.com or follow their updates on Facebook and Twitter. In the stores already this month from Zenescope, Screwed! Number 4, created by Tyler Kirkham, written by Keith Thomas. Anne is in police custody, but is it for her safety or theirs? As her memories start to return, certain faces lost in shadow become clear, and Anne knows that she's in more danger now than ever and must escape. What happened to Agent Aaron Scott a year ago that has made her cling so hard to this case? Who does Agent Simon work for? Exactly. And why has Suture willingly turned himself over to the police? The answers begin here. Wonderland, Down the Rabbit Hole number 4, written by Pat Shand. Raven Gregory's Wonderland's influence continues to reach across the realms, and Alice finds herself pushed to the breaking point as her world and sanity continue to fall apart. But losing her mind is the very least of her fears, as she comes to realize that it may be far too late to save her family from the grasp of Wonderland's insanity. Forget everything you thought you knew and see how deep the rabbit hole really goes in this psychological horror series by writers Raven Gregory and Pat Shand. GFT Hunters number 4, written by Pat Shand. The long-imprisoned god Prometheus lies dead at the hands of the being who has laid claim to a rare ancient power, capable of facilitating his release from the Shadowlands. As the being prepares to escape from the dark realm of the monsters and mayhem, bent on unleashing his wrath upon the world, a final order is given to the legion of bloodthirsty creatures of darkness. Find the human hunters responsible for their imprisonment and kill them all. With a world of monsters approaching their front door, will the hunters find a way to overcome the evil of the Shadowland, or will the being's impending release consume them all? From writer Raven Gregory comes the penultimate chapter of the prequel series to the biggest event in the history of the Grimm universe. It's an Unleashed tie-in. There. Enough said. Coming this week is Wonderland 14, written by Raven Gregory. Covers by Francesco, Eric J., Paolo Pentelna. Okay. Dolores' mysterious past and origin are finally revealed, and the answers will shake the Wonderland universe to its very core. Come on, let me see you shake your tail feather. When the long-lost twin sister of Alice sets in motion events that will haunt Callie and her daughter Violet for the rest of their lives. A drastic decision must be made. Keep running or take a stand against the evil that is Wonderland. Elsewhere, a motel worker discovers an urban legend come true has checked into one of their rooms. But when her curiosity gets the best of her, and she decides to investigate, she will quickly learn that when it comes to the sinister realm of Wonderland, you may check in, but you won't check out. GFT Zombies number 3, written by Troy Brownfield. The horror comic of the year comes to its bloody conclusion. Dark magic spreads around the world, causing corpses to rise and join the being's army. Elijah reckons with an old evil he wishes he could put to rest, but can he do so before the Walking Dead overcome humanity? Probably not. It's got an Unleashed tie-in as well. Then there's Grim Fairy Tales number 89, written by Troy Brownfield. For the most part, Seela has been enjoying her return to teaching, but it hasn't taken her long to figure out this isn't your normal, everyday educational institution. Highborns and falsebloods seem to make up the large part of the student body, and she's had her hands full dealing with avenging creatures, the avenging creature known as Frost. Seela can barely handle her class load, and the last thing she needs is a new student causing problems, especially one who may want her dead. Hey, here's a mini review of Grim Fairy Tales number 89. The story is the first part of a two-parter called Rapunzel. In it, Seela is settling down to her regular life as a teacher, but there's a new student who is there to cause her a bunch of problems. She is somehow linked to the naughty Rapunzel, who is there to kill Seela by any way possible. Seela spends most of the issue getting annoyed at the new student's hijinks and treating her boyfriend, maybe? Warren, like crap. Granted, the new student isn't the best at subtlety and hands Seela a book with a drawing showing Seela dead and swinging from a noose, so that might put anyone into a sour mood. This wasn't a very action-packed issue, and the new student girl was designed to be hated. Basically, a bitchy hot chick whose rich parents bribed her way into the school. Not the best writing I've seen, but the artwork by Salvador Velazquez is excellent. Hopefully the action will pick up in part 2. Hitless number 1, written by Ralph Tedesco. Are we ever truly safe from evil? What if you had the means to play God, choosing who lives and who dies? Threats exist all around us, and the lives of so many have been ruined by others' evil deeds. Now one man will seek vengeance for all those who share in his pain. When a professional group of professional killers it's late, I'm sorry, is brought together in order to take out a crew of gangsters, what starts as a seemingly good plan spirals into something more threatening and deadly than anyone saw it coming. It's a brand new action thriller series from the creators of Grim Fairy Tales, and the 7 Comics hit stores this fall. And now it's time for a mini review for Hitless number 1. So this new series created by Ralph Tedesco features a story of a group of hitmen, or hit persons might be a better term. The first issue basically introduces us to the major characters, the loose cannon, the cleaner, the coordinator, the professional, and so on. We also meet a gang of skinheads, who I believe will be the bad guys, at least in this arc. There are several quality kills, some nice writing, and I really liked the little coded messages that they sent back and forth. It seemed very assassin, hitman code-like. I did find it to be an enjoyable story, and it left a decent cliffhanger that keeps me intrigued to see the next issue. I don't really know all the players yet, so it was a bit disjointed for me. There are no looks inside of anyone's head, just what you can glean by their actions and conversations. It's nice because Tedesco assumes that the readers are smart enough to figure stuff out without being told, but it is also bad because you don't get a lot of insight into the characters, so it will take some time for them not to seem so two-dimensional. Overall, I'll be back next month to see what happens. Thanks for joining me for this Zenescope update. Stay tuned for more comic, gaming, and geek culture news from the Voice of E. I am your host, Elliot Miller, and until next time, keep your mind free.
Get me that signal. We need more power.